So guys, let's talk about entrepreneurship. I think all of us here at some point we floated a business. So I think one of the problems a lot of graduates claim they face is not being able to float their business. And also statistics have shown that at least within the first year to the fifth year, a lot of businesses collapse in Nigeria. So while we have lots of entrepreneurs in Nigeria and it's even at a rise right now, there are still some problems which a lot of people face, and some actually direct this to the government. Do you think this is legitimate? Chris, let's start with you. I'm sure you run several businesses.
I think it's dual-faced. It's two-faced. The government definitely play a major role, and I will also put a small chunk back to the young ones who are supposed to start. I'll say this because if you look at other societies, the UK, the US, fundamentally you are expected to work gradually and imbibe some form of entrepreneurial skill, right from when you are in primary all the way to secondary, taking part jobs, till eventually when you're in the real world, then you're formed. Unfortunately for us, what we have in our own side of the divide is that you just accumulate degrees and diplomas. So when you're out there, you're definitely already at a disadvantage to start with. But it doesn't erase the fact that I feel that this generation also is producing a lot of very lazy individuals.
Okay.
I am privy to a lot of hardworking ones, both male and female. There are those who go to the kitchen and I order breakfast from some people. There are those who bake cakes. I order cupcakes from them. And they decide to themselves that they're going to, make a living from this.
Yes.
But on the flip side, you have those who are literally waiting for the government. For instance, Lagos state government, in their wisdom, have realized that it is impossible for the government to be able to cater to unemployment. So what have they done? They come up with a scheme. Let us empower those entrepreneurs, give them some money and some grants and some fund, and let them be the ones who will now be the employers of labor. So they can end up getting 1, 2, 3 individuals in their fold. So for me, I think it's two-faced.
Okay, let me stop you there. So Chidima, I think one of the problems people also claim to face is that they don't have funds. So a lot of business starts, and let's also not forget that the average Nigerian didn't grow up in an entrepreneurship family. It's not something that we really practice here. Even while in school, a very few of us actually worked while on holidays. A lot of us don't do side businesses. Our parents didn't encourage it. So is it possible that because we weren't trained that way? I mean, if you go to America, if you go to UK, you have them during summer, you have them running jobs for their parents' friends. So we don't have the good background. Is it possible that this is also a problem? Is it possible to float a business if you don't have an entrepreneurship experience and have it succeed?
Teju, first, I would disagree with you at the point where you said that a lot of Nigerians didn't grow up under entrepreneurship or exposed to some kind of entrepreneurship. I say that to say that I would rather say that a lot of educated Nigerians were not exposed to entrepreneurship. However, a huge percentage of people in Nigeria, I mean rural Nigeria, had some kind of entrepreneurship background. And I say that to say that I say that because, I mean, a huge percentage of people, my father will tell you that he went to the university mainly because his mother was strong enough to get into trade to primarily fund his education. And a lot of people have said that. I hear that story every day. I mean, I grew up with a mother who would go out there, make a living by trading. This is my petty trade. I mean, we call it entrepreneurship today, but then they will call it trading or petty trading. So at one point or the other, I would say that a lot of Nigerians have some level of experience with trading, or perhaps what we call entrepreneurship today. However, I think where we get it wrong today as a society and as a people is that in as much as it's the responsibility of the government to provide us with the infrastructure we need, which includes funding, a lot of us have made up our mind to not try. And here's why I say that. A couple of years ago, one of the things I did, I mean, I have a background, an academic background in pure social sciences. I studied economics, but somehow along the line, I got into technology and I started loving it. I devoted my time into learning and understanding technology, given that I saw it as the next step or as the next phase, especially for so many economies. So I started exposing myself to a lot of technology instruments. I started my first business 4 years ago, and it was trading clothing items.
Were you
little by
working
little.
then?
Yes, I was working, but here's the thing. That's not the point. Is I started the business with 30,000 naira, and within a year, that business was grossing about 1 million.
Okay, so let me ask you this. You said you started with 30,000 naira. That 30,000 naira, did you get it from your workplace when you were working?
I was getting somewhere with that. Now, the first or the major thing that a lot of us have overlooked today, and this is even way beyond today, that the first source of capital for every business is not always the government. I say this to everyone who wants to listen. I mean, principles of economics, principles of business would say to you that the first source of capital for every business is family and friends.
Definitely.
Right? So you need to start with that. Get the funding that you need. Now be able to get the 10,000 that you get from your family and friends. Show that you can grow that 10,000 to 20,000 or 15,000 naira. And grow the 15,000 naira to 20 or 25,000. Now, if you show that effectively and consistently for a 6 months, 1 year period, now you don't necessarily have to go to the bank. I mean, you can go to an uncle who maybe understands business ethics. Now, a reasonable uncle, a reasonable friend, a reasonable colleague will see your numbers, see the prospect in your business, see your dedication and discipline. A lot of us lack those words, especially in entrepreneurship. Discipline, dedication. Once people see that, they'll be willing to invest in you beyond just the government infrastructures, beyond the banks. Now, being able to show that trend or that level of success now gives you the level of courage, the level of branding, which is basically one of the things that the banks will buy into. The banks want to be able to see that this guy has grown from A to B. I mean, an average bank in Nigeria wants to be able to show a success story of an SME that they have supported, an SME or an SME owner who started from 15,000, but they have been able to support to grow the business to $1 billion business.
Okay, Chidima, I think you're still speaking from the point of an educated person. And I'm going to direct it to you, Damola.
Yes.
You said you agree with her. Now, I'm just imagining a scenario where I finished school and I don't want to work. I didn't even look for a job. And I approach an uncle. I mean, I created a very lovely template slide on what I want. If you're an uncle and I bring an idea to you and I tell you to invest, I've not floated it. I'm running an idea. It's basically an idea. Would you fund me? Because I mean, is it actually easy to walk up to family and friends and tell them to loan you money to float a business you've not started? Not forgetting that if you've not worked for a while, you may not be able to have any funds to even float a business. So how realistic is this?
Okay, let me first of all start with where we actually started the discussion from, about whether it's government responsibility or it's the individual's responsibility. I've realized now that if you look at Nigeria today, which is where I think we're talking about Nigeria, is that we have a lot more entrepreneurs than we had maybe probably about 5 years ago. And that's because now there's a platform for the distribution of your ideas and your products. So you have more entrepreneurs on Instagram, you have more entrepreneurs on Facebook. So entrepreneurship, honestly, is the way to go. And to be honest, entrepreneurship, the way it is going now, it has an overall bearing on the government, but it's not, the starting of that entrepreneurship role is not dependent on the government. Usually it's dependent on those people who live around you. So if you have a good product and you have something that people will definitely want and need, certainly you will get the help you need. Many people have to understand that entrepreneurship is a gradual process. It doesn't start from you being 0 today and then you're going to 100 the next day. So it's a gradual process. And everybody wants to see some sort of progression in what you have done. So if, take for example, you were going to serve maybe food, or you were going to be cooking, you were going to have a big catering company, you should have been able to be supplying your friends at events. So they give you a contract and they say, you know what, I have this thing that I need to do. It's going to cost you 20,000 naira. You should be able to go to your family and your friends to get that 20,000. But that would also be dependent on who you are as a person for them to be able to fund you.
True.
To be honest, that is the first way you are ever going to start any business. Because if the people who are closest to you don't believe in you, then it's almost impossible for
to make anyone else do
to
it.
believe in you.
Sure.
Now, after a while, you realize that you begin to have more clientele. Now, The problem now comes when it gets to the expansion phase,
Mhm.
which means that you want to grow your business bigger than what you had before. And that is where you would now need to have external funding. So take, for example, you were doing businesses that were 100,000, 500,000, and your family and friends were able to come together to provide that money. But then you now realize that in a weekend you have 4 or 5 events. I'm still using this example of the caterer.
Sure.
You have 4 or 5 events, and then you now need about 4 million to get that done. Then you now have to go out into the society, into the system, which honestly is being controlled by the government. The problem we have here now is that most people are not willing to provide that sort of financing without some form of collateral or the other. So, going back to what you said, despite the fact that you have a track record, despite the fact that you have consistently been delivering, you have been banking with the same institution,
Mhm.
those same institutions, whether it's a bank, wherever, whatever body it is, in Nigeria today is unwilling because they're to give you any funds. And that's basically because their risk appetite is very low, and also because we have a problem with identifying who this person is, and being able to ensure that you can always get your money back however way you can. So to be honest, the system has failed or is failing, and they need to get up and really
Okay.
take more risk.
Okay, thanks, Amola. So, guys, I want to throw this at you. Quick one. Did you consider entrepreneurship before landing your first job? Just yes or no? No story. Just yes or no. Did you consider entrepreneurship before you landed your
No.
first job? No. How about you, Chidima? Did you consider? Were you selling
I mean,
anything?
I sold sweets. No, real talk. I sold sweets.
So, Chidima,
JSS2, I sold sweets.
Chidima?
JSS2, I got into trouble, loads of trouble, but I sold
Chidima,
sweets.
boy.
No, I didn't. Actually, I always thought that I would never succeed by myself as an entrepreneur.
Okay.
Till
Okay.
I got
Yes or no? Yes or no?
No.
No.
Okay, thank you.
No.